Delphi. This area is known for something powerful, legendary, and ancient. It's a place where gods and mortals connected. Travelers from kings to common folk would come from far and wide to ask their burning questions. What is the meaning of life? Will mankind survive its imminent demise? Will the Peloponnesians invade? The answers may surprise you.
So goes to Delphi.
All right, it's breakfast time. We're going to Bougatsa Politics to get some Bougatsa, which is a phyllo pie with different sorts of fillings. So I don't know if I want sweet or savory, but I'm hungry, so I'm excited to check this out. Here we have the savory one, which is cheese. There's also a meat option, and he's gonna bring us over some iced coffees. It's crispy, salty. It's salty.
Thank you. Very good, yeah, I like it.
This one called Bougatsa. The name is the name of the field. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The sweet one has powdered sugar and cinnamon, and normally you have to choose between that and chocolate, but he put a little bit of chocolate on the corner for us. Whoa, that's gooey. Wow.
Yum.
Driving through Greece means plenty of tolls, and Athens to Delphi was no exception.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.
Paying was easy. They all accept cards, and there's usually someone at the booth. It was around €15 one way. Heading out of Athens into the countryside.
This morning I got up super duper early.
What time?
It's 5 something. It's too early. That was honestly rough because I think I went to bed at 1 a.m.
Yeah, we didn't really sleep too well last night. I feel like we were nervous and planning for this day, right?
Yeah, I was nervous because I knew I had to get up early and go take public transportation alone. I had to walk about 25 minutes from our Airbnb in the Plaka neighborhood over to Syntagma station, which is the main station. And it's also where we were last night. So it was honestly good that we had gone there because I knew which way to go. Because I just want to be safe. I felt totally safe all through the entire day that we were there yesterday, except for at the very end of the night when Jed was filming something by himself. And so I walked down one street that was a little bit darker, but there were still restaurants and people there. And as soon as I had left Jed, I just started getting men staring at me and then yelling at me, whistling at me, which made me feel really uncomfortable. And so I think that plus knowing I would have to get up and it would be dark and I would be alone again, I felt kind of rattled and a little nervous.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. Be better.
Yeah.
Don't make Janet uncomfortable.
I know, I feel sad now.
Aww.
It feels silly.
Oh, you're not silly. No, it's...
Sorry, a second. I think I'm just tired. No, it was fine. And there was a nice couple that was kind of near me. And they were really sweet.
That was a French couple, you said, right?
Yeah, it was good because I got to practice my French.
Yeah, perfect.
I was I'm sorry, my French is bad. I'm from Quebec and I'm Anglophone. And they were it's fine, your French is really good. And I was
Yeah. So the French couple saved the day, and Janet and I reunited shortly thereafter.
So anyways, that's why I felt nervous to go this morning, but it was totally fine. No one bothered me. And so I got to the airport and I got the cappuccino freddos. I got the paper for the car. He said, walk all the way to the end. All right, let's go. It's cute. It's little. Has no backup cam, so I did this parking job all by myself. So now we're driving to do our iconic day trip over to the Oracle of Delphi.
This is like super cool to me. I am totally stoked about the history aspect and the mythology aspect, and this place is like the intersection of both those things. But I think we're gonna make a couple pit stops first. Welcome to Arachova. This is a stop right on the way to Delphi from Athens. It has an amazing viewpoint. You should definitely stop and check it out. We're gonna have some lunch and see what this town has to offer.
We came up through the little walkway and now we're sitting on this beautiful terrace covered with tree leaves. Beautiful viewpoint. And we had the most sweet greeting by the owner's daughter, and I feel like the food is going to be incredible.
What is
All right.
Yum! We ordered chicken souvlaki, lamb chops, bread, tzatziki, fava, olives. I love olives, but Jed is not an olive guy, but he said he would try them when we're in Greece.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the Mediterranean. I feel like I gotta have the olives.
Do
right?
it.
I'm going for it. Give me a nice
I already ate like 6 of them.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
They're so intense.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Super tangy, super salty,
Yeah.
super fresh feeling too.
Mm-hmm. They're so good compared to like the ones in the States.
Yeah.
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 Very good.
Will you eat some of these, or am I going to finish them all myself?
You'll eat most of them probably. But I will eat a couple.
Yay! Jed's olive. Something that I thought was pretty cool is that the Airbnb quiet hours are not like the nighttime. They're from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. because that's like the resting time.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's-
It's in the rule book.
Oh.
So, shh. This little kitty just came running out of nowhere. Oh, yeah.
Who wants to be in the video?
So we just had the best meal we've had so far.
Yes, and we will definitely link it because it was amazing.
So good. Little cat.
Really crispy lamb, succulent. Just like, whoa. Hey.
We got a little love bug on us. Oh my god.
We're making friends left and right.
Yeah, I guess so. And Jed tried an olive.
True.
Whoa.
You don't say.
Okay. Next up, Oracle of Delphi.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
Okay. So we begin our pilgrimage to the Oracle of Delphi here at the bubbling waters of the spring Castalia. And this is where the Pythia and the pilgrims, us, would come to purify themselves in the water before venturing up to visit the oracle. Who were the Pythia? Those were the women who would give out the prophecies. They were the oracles. Let's continue. The pilgrims would get off of their boats down in Pythia. They would climb up
through the valley up the mountain to this spot and make their sacrifices to Athena, the goddess of wisdom and fertility. This was first built in the 7th century BC. This is the third temple. The two earlier ones were destroyed by earthquake. This, even being the third one, was still in the BC. And we're standing here under the hot Greek sun, soaking it all in. Onward to the sanctuary of Apollo. For the day of consultation, it would be the 7th day of the new moon, and that was the holy day for Apollo, where the Pythia would go and purify herself, make her way up to the sanctuary, and she would sit upon a tripod, inhale vapors coming from Mount Parnassus, and go into an altered state, a trance, and then she would give the answers. So now we are in the Roman Agora, and you can tell it's the Roman Agora by the brick on the walls. And this is one of the first places where tourism became a business, because the Romans would come to ask questions from the oracle, and they would line up here. And remember, it's the full moon, the 7th day, and so it's only one day a month. But not in the wintertime, because in the wintertime, Apollo, the sun god, was tired and he went away. And it was rumored that his brother Dionysus would come here and do his devilish tricks in the winter. So you had to get in line and wait your turn in order of importance. So we would probably be way back here, and the much more important people would be up far ahead. So now we go and we make our way up the sacred way. And you need to be careful here because the stones are slippery. Some of the stones have grooves in them. And while they're helpful for us, they were actually for the sacred goat. So the sacred goat would be led up here to get sacrificed. But if the goat shuddered or slipped on the rocks, it was considered a bad omen, and the consultations would be canceled for the day. And so you would have to hang out in Delphi and wait a whole month for the next consultations. So that's why they had the grooves, to keep the sacred goat steady. Along the sacred way, different city-states would have had sanctuaries for the god Apollo. And that's one of the reasons why we know that Apollo had such an important following, is because all these different city-states left these sanctuaries for him. And up ahead, we're going to see the best preserved one. This is the best preserved treasury from all of the city-states from Athens, and it was built in 490 BC. Did you get that? 490 BC. So behind me here is the Stoa of the Athenians, which was where they had their war monuments and their trophies. But the part of this that I find so fascinating is on this back wall here, you can see to this day inscribed the names of freed slaves, thousands of them. And a place like this, where we think about the great kings who would come and ask their questions about war and government, the fact that so many thousands of people put their name here where it wouldn't get erased is something that brings this place even more alive. We're coming up to the Temple of Apollo, and here is where you need to use your imagination, because everything was closed down in the 4th century AD, when the Christian era really came to be. The Temple of Apollo. So this is where you would come to ask your questions of the oracle. And so in here, there would be all the offerings hung all around you. There would probably be a solid gold statue of Apollo holding his bow. And you would go down into the crypt where the Pythia would be sitting on her tripod, and she would have her little dish of water and her laurel branches that she would be beating, breathing in the fumes from Mount Parnassus into her trance, and you would ask your question and she would answer in her low, raspy voice. So we have some questions for her.
as promised, we are going to ask some of the questions that you gave us, and we're going to ask the Oracle and see what she says. Janet is going to be the Pythia. She's huffed a bunch of fumes out of the mountain.
I am going to drive a mountain road after this, so hopefully this wears off soon.
So, our first question comes from Christos Klaumanos, who says, I'm pretty worried that the Peloponnesians are going to invade. Is there anything I can do to ensure victory?
Christos Klaumatos. Christos Klaumatos. Christos, your walls are crumbling, your armies are junk, and yet, if you go to war, a great nation will be vanquished.
Sounds pretty promising there, Christos. Our next question comes from Arab, and she asks, is God real?
If by real you mean born of Titans, escaped being eaten by his father, raised by nymphs in a cave, and grew up to overthrow his father and become king of the cosmos, then yes, he is real.
Whoa, I think we can all relate to that story.
Yeah.
There is a reason that Delphi became such a cornerstone in Greek history, religion, and politics. And the legends go all the way back to Zeus, who sent 2 eagles from opposite corners of the earth in search of the center. And those eagles met here, over Delphi. And now, we leave it behind, driving into the sunset in the little Toyota Yaris, winding along the mountain roads into the valleys and back up again, trying to outpace the fading daylight, but knowing soon it'll be dark, and we'll be keeping each other awake, talking about all of the history we saw today, and how our feet walk the same sacred path of so many other travelers and pilgrims. The mountains and the history make this place feel magical. It really was the iconic day trip from Athens, and getting there and back is totally doable in a day. But we're not going back to Athens. We're heading even further north to the unbelievable landscape of Meteora. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next adventures. And if you've been inspired or entertained, hit the like button. If you're planning your own trip to Greece, you can find a link to our Google Maps list in the description. In this list, we're compiling all the places we're visiting on this 2-week journey. We're so grateful to get to travel in Greece and can't wait to share more of the adventures with you. But for now,
Keep on wandering, baby.
It's the cats.
Or it's all